Hello, welcome along to Adventures in Pop. My name is Simon Jacobs, and you're looking lovely. Particularly, I like the way you've got those dangly things, and yeah, it was great. Good. It's the time of the year where the frost lies deep, and the leaves are off the trees, and Spotify sends us Spotify Wrapped. They've been doing this for a few years. If you are a customer to Spotify, you're going to get something from Spotify that tells you about who you've been listening to basically during the course of this year, who you've been kind of investing in, and you'll get some data about how much you love Taylor Swift, Ed Sheeran, The Weekend, whoever it might be. And it's kind of, it's kind of cute. It doesn't. I don't think it adds much to the achievement of nations, but there it is. If you're an artist contributing to Spotify's platform, uploading music to Spotify, you get a slightly different Wrapped where Spotify will send you basically a whole load of data in a kind of, in the same kind of nice coloured slideshow. They'll send you a whole load of data telling you about the performance of your own music, about your own singles, about basically the performance of your whole catalogue, basically, through the year. And they do it in a particular kind of style, which I'm going to go through with you because this episode is going to be dedicated to sharing with you my Spotify Wrapped. If you can stand the tension and the excitement for as long as it's going to take for me to kind of get through it, which I promise you won't be that long. Now, look, you will know that back on episode 139, I'm sure you remember that clearly, I went through last year's Spotify Wrapped, and here we are on episode 195, and it's this year's. Interesting to see what's changed, and I wanted to see what I said last year about it and see if I was just about to say exactly the same thing again. And I also wanted to see what the numbers were and what kind of do a little bit of compare and contrast. Okay, so what can I tell you about this year's Spotify Wrapped? I think if anything, it has got a little bit less data than last year's. I think it's trying to be a bit more selective about what it's sharing with you, what it's telling you about. And apparently, I have read from somewhere that it's a bit more kind of AI generated this year. Great. And it's there to tell you which countries, how many streams, how long people listen to you for, how many people put you as their top artist ever in the world ever, etc., etc. It's kind of interesting. It comes, as I say, in a nice graphic, and I'm going to go through that with you. But I'm still left pondering the sort of the big elephant in the room question, which is why did they do it? I don't really I don't, because they send it to you thinking that not only are you going to be thrilled to bits to get this sort of, download, this dump of data all about you. I guess that's cute. You could go and work it out for yourself anyway. Well, a lot of it you could. I mean, you wouldn't be that bothered to work out how many minutes people have been listening to you, but who cares anyway? And this is my problem. It gives you a bunch of information. Some of it's quite interesting, but they're expecting that you should work with it. You should be sending it to people. You should be sharing it. And I don't. I mean, look, I'm going to show it to you just to make my point. But if I wasn't doing a YouTube video and talking about, my Spotify Wrapped, I really would not be sending it to anybody. I might be the most conscientiously, self-promoting, marketing expertly all my songs to the max. I still don't think I would want to send out my Spotify Wrapped because I don't think it's interesting really to anyone other than myself. I think it's a bit self-indulgent, and I'm failing year after year to get what the excitement is all about. And Spotify put a lot of time and effort into this, and you can imagine they must do. They've got many millions of customers, and they've got many, many hundreds of thousands of artists. So it's a lot of work for them. And I'm for the life of me, I'm not quite sure why. Look, if AI can do it all for them at the punch of a button, that's great. And nobody can, nobody's going to bother about it. But if there are real people toiling day after day, sweating over getting these wrapped out to people, I'd say to them, go and get another job. Do something interesting, do something useful, because I don't think it's adding much to civilization generally. Look, having said that, I'm still going to take you through it. I'm going to do it quite fast. Try to deal with the fact that you're going to be beside yourself with tension, excitement, and the jeopardy of the whole thing might virtually kill you before the end. But if you are very highly strung, then I would suggest maybe go and watch something else. If you can sit through it, then you might find this incredibly exciting. No, not exciting. It isn't exciting at all. You might find this interesting just to see what Spotify is spending their time telling us about. So, look, I'm going to hand you over to me, and I am going to, in a slightly wobbly kind of way, where I'm just pointing my camera at my laptop screen and saying, "What is this?" I'm going to take you through it. So, look, sit tight, buckle yourself in for the ride, and here is my Spotify Wrapped for 2024. And as I say, try not to get overexcited. I hope you haven't been drinking. That's what I want to say. All right, I'll see you next time. In the meantime, here are the numbers. Bye bye. So, without further ado, I'm going to take you right now through my incredibly exciting Spotify for Artists Wrapped for 2024. There's me. Okay, let's. I'm going to try and surreptitiously move this along without you seeing my fingers. Here we go. Well, should we do the let's go? Yes, there we are. Okay, so we're into it. Now, well, it was quite a year. That's lovely. Thank you. Feels good to be heard. There are a lot of these kind of, slightly irritating truisms. Yes, of course, it feels good to be heard. Shut up. Go. Let's get on with it. What else have we got? Okay. All right. Now, this is where, the numbers, I like numbers. I am nerdy about statistics. And one thing that's missing from this, and I think it's really important, I just don't know why they do it, is why don't they tell me how many listeners I had last year and then, do a comparison to this year? What I actually had to do was to go and look last year's up, which is also a bit nerdy of me. But without that, I don't really know whether that's an increase or a decrease, frankly. And actually, it is an increase. I think the previous year was about 100,000. Now it's 148,000 for this year. So that's good. But I had to go and do the hard work of going and checking and doing a little comparison. That seems to be a bit unnecessary, surely. What else have we got here? 683,000 streams. That's quite nice in a year. I think previous year was about 500,000. So that's also an increase. What else we got? Oh, this is very silly. 261 million seconds. I mean, what do I do with that? I mean, it's just a bit big numbers, totally meaningless, I would say. Then worked out in hours, days, and weeks, months, years. Yawn. Okay, onwards. Let's have a look. What else we got? Okay, where in the world have you been? Okay, always quite interesting. I do quite like that. Let's have a look. Where have I been? Where have I been? I have been to 167 countries. Well, okay, that's great. It's not so great though if actually, you've had one stream in 95 of them. Anyway, biggest countries, top countries: United States, Finland. Hello, Finland. Thank you. A bit surprising, and I'm very pleased. And the third one, not so surprising: United Kingdom, Germany at 4, France at 5. Okay, so pretty normal. So that's lovely, thank you. Where do we go next? Just like there's only one of you, you can only have one top song. So this is not what have I been listening to over the course of the year. This is which of my catalogue has been streamed the most. Always fun to find that out. And the answer is A Little Light. It's one of the later tracks off the Strange Alien album, which is very good. I mean, I can totally see why, of course. He says, slightly lying, was your top song. Okay, thank you, that's lovely. And it had 82,000 plays, 25,000. That's nice. Thank you very much, everyone. There's no way around it. Your fans love your music. Well, that's good. You kind of would hope so, I suppose. Your tracks were saved 10,000 times. That's a little more, I think, than last year. No, it is more. I tell you, but there is one figure that's less, and I think that's this figure. I think I did get onto more playlists in the previous year than that. It's the only figure that seems to have gone down, but hey, you know, I'm going to console myself somehow. Your fans know how to spread the love. They shared your music 100 times. That's nice. I don't think it's a particularly big figure, actually, but it's nice. Let's break that down. Well, let's break that down. This is how they shared it. Okay, that's interesting, but not that interesting. What else we got here? Your most shared tracks were Do You, You Do You, Hay Fever, Spoil Your Vibe. Thank you very much. That's lovely. All quite recent, actually. You've leveled up this year. I don't know what that means. 52% more. You gained 52% listeners, more listeners. Okay, and I've got a little list here. Stream saves. Okay, so this is actually telling me what I was asking about before. I've got 52% more listeners. I've got 38% more streams. I've got 60% more saves. I've got 23% more. I thought, okay, that's surprising, but that's lovely. And I've got 39% more followers. Okay, so they're telling me that everything in the garden is rosy. So look, who am I to complain or to disagree? Now that's next level. That's very strange English. Now that's next level. Okay, I don't know what that means really. Let's go on. Let's talk new music. Oh, thank you. Let's. That's a very good idea. Let's have a look. What are we talking about here? This year you had your biggest release week. You had your biggest release week with. Okay, so this is about which track did the best, the fastest, if you see what I mean. Had a good opening week. I'm not sure why that's really relevant, but it's quite interesting. 20,000 streams for Fall in Love with Me in the first week after dropping. Okay, lovely. I'm thrilled. Your music isn't the only thing that's a work of art. Your canvases were seen 2.29k times. Okay, 2,000 and a quarter plus. That's marvelous. Again, I'm not sure how useful that is. Your music is making someone's day right now. Okay, that's lovely. You're a top 10 artist for 377 fans. That's quite nice, isn't it? Because that's something, again, you can't fabricate that, and that's really quite sweet. Let's have a look at what we've got here. You're a top 5 artist for 90 fans. That's lovely. And you're number 1, and the number 1 spot goes to you. I'm a top artist for 9 fans. I think last year it might have been 10. I've obviously lost a big fan. Simon Jacobs, thank you for sharing your music with the world. It's not over yet. Keep spreading the love and share with your fans. Okay, there you've got it. That is my Spotify for artists. And look, my summary of it is it's kind of cute. I don't understand the big fuss. I don't understand why I would want to share it with anybody. If anybody's interested in my music, they can come over and look at, my Spotify pages. They'll see all the numbers down there of kind of, the kinds of numbers of streams I'm getting. Look, so I suppose in a very nichey, nerdy way, yeah, it's kind of interesting, but this is not something I'm going to use. I'll be really honest with you. It's not something I'm going to be sending out to people saying, hey, You don't know me, but just have a look at my Spotify Wrapped. It seems quite bizarre to me. That's enough moaning. I'll see you soon. Thank you so much for coming with me on this ride. Take care. Bye bye.